Marvel Comics Blood Hunt issue 5. Let's dive into this issue filled with blood, betrayal, and bad decisions. Now, spoiler alert, it's got more drama than a tea spill in the middle of Bake Off. So let's go! So picture this. Dr. Doom, the metal-faced maniac who probably irons his cape in his spare time, walks up to Doctor Strange and drops a bombshell. Give me the Sorcerer Supreme title. Clea's like, over my dead body. And Doom's like, funny you should mention that because the planet's kinda drowning in dark clouds and vampy vibes, so maybe just hand it over? Strange, currently stuck in his astral form, says, fine, you win this time, you smug tin can. Just promise to give it back once you're done saving the world. And Doom's like, I'll definitely give it back once I'm done saving the world. Clea is still ready to punt him into the dark dimension. Meanwhile, back in New York, in the Temple of the First Blasphemy, the Avengers are currently playing Twilight's Battle Royale edition with Varnae and his band of superpowered vampires, the Blood Coven. Vision? Boom! He blasts Unusual, freeing Scarlet Witch. Bloodstorm 1, your typical vampire with anger issues, lunges at Black Panther, who's still shaking off his I was a vampire for like 5 minutes hangover. But who comes to the rescue? Captain America, with a flying kick so patriotic it probably sings the national anthem mid-air. And Thor, he strolls up to Varnae like, hey, remember me? It's been 1,000 years. You still mad about that thing? Turns out Varnae is still mad about that thing. Thor doesn't have Mjolnir on hand yet, so Varnae gives him the business. But don't worry folks, Mjolnir does eventually come back like Thor's trusty metal boomerang. Cut to Iron Man yelling at Scarlet Witch, cast the Montesi formula, wipe out the vamps, and Wanda's like, hard pass Tony, last time I did something that extreme, everyone hated me for it, I'm not doing that again. Bloodstorm grabs Vision and rips off his arm like he's pulling wings off a fly, and tosses him aside like yesterday's leftovers. Vision's all like, well that was rude. Now, let's check on Doom. This guy's multitasking like a boss. He's got the Strange Academy kids helping him whip up a counterspell for the Dark Force clouds, while giving Clea and Strange side-eye for doubting him. This man is straight up thriving. Meanwhile, Bloodline, Dracula, and vampire Miles Morales are watching the chaos from a distance. Bloodline's currently having a big main character moment. She's finally ready to take down her dad, Blade, who's currently Varnae's unwilling vampire meat puppet. Hashtag awkward family reunion. Back at the Temple of the First Blasphemy, Varnae is flexing his Dark Force powers and monologuing about how much he hates Thor because they're both immortal gods or whatever. Thor's like, buddy, get in line. And just when things look grim, boom! Mjolnir shows up and sends a shockwave through the battle and gives Thor his second wind. Iron Man shouts at Captain Marvel, can you blast a hole in the clouds for sunlight again? But nope, the clouds are like, not today. At this very moment, Moon Knight shows up because this battle wasn't chaotic enough. He slices Bloodstorm 1, giving Vision a chance to strike, but Vision's down to like 1% battery and can't land the shot. Cruel, another vampire baddie with razor wire tentacles, wraps them both up like a creepy Christmas present. Bloodstorm taunts them, promising to make them watch as Varnae pulls a world domination but make it spooky power move. Doom, meanwhile, is in full spellcaster mode. Turns out the Dark Force cloud magic is pre-full Atlantean, and Doom's got it covered because, of course he does. He starts the ritual, and things start turning around. Then, it's Bloodline's time to shine. She leaps at Varnae, stabs him in the chest, and shouts something like, I'm saving my dad! But Varnae, being the smug jerk he is, says, nah kid, you're Blade's daughter. I've possessed this body for far too long, so that's not gonna be enough to take me down. Enter Miles Morales, who's like, hey, remember me? You turned me into a vampire. Bam, he lands a hit. Turns out, since Miles is part of Varnae's bloodline now, his attack actually does some serious damage. This opens the door for Doom's spell to fully kick in. The Dark Force clouds start to lift, and Scarlet Witch forces Varnae and Blade apart with a spell. Blade collapses, free at last, but looking like he just got run over by the Hulk. Bloodline rushes over to him, crying, I'm sorry! And Blade, in classic dad fashion, says, you did good, kid. The Avengers rally. They pin down Varnae and mop up the rest of the Blood Coven as the sunlight finally breaks through. But wait, Doom's not done. Remember that whole, I promised to give you the Sorcerer Supreme title back thing? Yeah, about that. Doom tells Strange, technically, I promised to save the world, right? And guess what? This fight was just the appetizer. I'll give you the title back when the whole world is saved. Finally, the part vampire, part Spider-Man Miles Morales realizes that he's not burning up in the sunlight, which freaks him out. Dracula, the drama queen, cryptically says, "Oh, you and I share Varnae's blood now. This is only the beginning," and he suggests that the vampires have now lost their weakness to sunlight. The issue wraps up with a global broadcast. Who gets all the credit for saving the day? Not the Avengers, not Doctor Strange, nope. It's all about Victor Von Doom, the new superior Sorcerer Supreme. And you know that he made sure everyone got his name right. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and leave a comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. But for the meantime, peace, peace, peace.